You framed me, I asked, frozen in the living room as the police read my name on the subpoena. My father just looked down in silence. Lisa, my stepmother, stood beside her son Arthur, wearing that fake pained expression. And Arthur? He stood there like it was just another game he always won. I couldn't believe it. Just a week ago, everything seemed normal. I even had hope. For once, maybe I'd finally be part of this family. I had tried. I kept quiet. I made sacrifices. But clearly, my silence only made them think I was easy to manipulate. Arthur was the kind of person the whole household revolved around. In Lisa's eyes, he was the perfect son, the pride my father wouldn't stop bragging about. And me? I was just a reminder of a previous marriage everyone tried to forget. I live in the same house, but I was never truly part of it. Last week, Arthur lured me into the garage under the pretense of needing help with his car. But when I got there, he deliberately bumped into me and then screamed like I had done something horrible. No one else was there, and I knew the camera had been angled deliberately to miss the scene. A day later, I was accused of assault. Ridiculous? Yes. Horrifying? Even more so. But the worst part? My father believed him. You should apologize to Arthur. He's emotionally traumatized, my dad said without even looking me in the eye. Lisa clutched Arthur's shoulder like he was the true victim. I felt the rage boiling inside me. After everything I'd done, after everything I'd endured, they chose to believe a blatant lie. But I knew one thing. If I didn't fight back, I'd lose everything. My dignity, my freedom, and what little faith I had left in justice. So I started gathering evidence. I stayed quiet, played weak, but inside, I was tracking every detail. I spoke to a neighbor who saw both Arthur and me walking into the garage at the same time. I contacted a technician who had worked on our security system. He confirmed Arthur asked him to adjust the camera for privacy. I even dug up an old recording on my phone, Arthur threatening me when he found out I planned to move out for college. I gave everything to my lawyer. Clear, documented, undeniable. The day Arthur was arrested was the first time in years I truly felt alive. The police came, not for me, but for him. He screamed, "Call me a traitor." My father stood in shock. Lisa sobbed like her world had collapsed. No, the worst part wasn't that her son was being arrested. It was that the truth finally came out, that they had believed a liar while throwing their own family away without a second thought. My dad visited me a few days later, looking like he had aged 10 years overnight. "I didn't know it was this bad," he said. I stared at him for a moment and replied coldly, "It wasn't bad. You were." Lisa texted me too. Long, flowery apologies. Said she didn't know. Claimed Arthur was having a breakdown. Asked for forgiveness. I didn't reply. I read it and left her on scene forever. I'm not that child anymore. I've grown. I've learned that no one gets to make me feel worthless unless I let them. I used to believe that if I tried hard enough, I'd be loved. But love isn't a reward for patience. It's a right, given only when someone truly values you. Arthur was convicted. He couldn't lie his way out. He couldn't run. I walked into that courtroom with my head held high. The media called me brave, but I didn't feel like a victim. I felt like a survivor, a fighter, the only one who stood up from the wreckage my so-called family created. My father later asked if I wanted to come home for dinner. I smiled faintly. No, thanks. I have a home of my own now. I don't need them anymore. And they know that. They lost me, not because of one mistake, but because of a lifetime of neglect, betrayal, and indifference. I walked away from that story not as the loser, but as the only one who still had their soul intact. And for the first time in my life, I felt free.